I suck at content creating, so I'm doing a separate video today. Hello, welcome back to my corner of the internet. As you guys can see from the title, today I'm doing a specific video that I typically would not be doing, but I realized that in the month of June, I forgot to update you guys on this specific palette when I did my quarterly update of my plan to pan. So I apologize for that. I couldn't squeeze it in the month of June. It was just way too busy. I already had everything pre-planned. So I knew that I had to get it in now, or I was just gonna have to wait till the next quarter. And I didn't want to do that to you guys because I have quite a bit of progress on this palette, and I want to document it. I want it to be documented so that you can see it. I am already a month behind, but it's better to be a month behind than 3 months behind. So we're gonna update you guys on this palette of mine right here. So if you're interested, I'm gonna get back and give you all the housekeeping before we get up to the update. All right, first and foremost, guys, my windows are open. It is a beautiful day. We had a massive heat wave, and then we had a really bad thunderstorm where I see a lot of people cutting down more trees. And then it's cool today. So I have my windows open. It's actually nice and comfortable. It's still nice and humid where I can wear all my summer stuff. It's like the perfect day where you just want a little bit of a cool down from the summer heat, but it's relaxing. So it's only in the 70s. I love it. It is beautiful. So I'm taking advantage of it, and I am filming this video for you guys. So you're going to hear a lot of crows. I feel like the crows have been on it today, and I don't know why. This morning I saw them doing something, and there was a bunch of them rallying around. I don't know. Second thing, I'm missing a game. A game just started 5 minutes ago. I believe it is the Argentina, and I can't remember who they're versing. So I want to watch that soccer game. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because I want to get to my TV to watch that game. And I've been having a lot of fun watching the FIFA games. Actually been enjoying them more, I think, because I'm watching them in the Spanish channel versus the English channel. I feel like I was just dragging when I was watching them in English versus Spanish. So that's that. I just want to let you guys know that too. Now let's move on to this palette now that I have given you guys all the background of what it is exactly why that this situation happened. So I decided to use this palette every single time that I do my makeup. So far, I've been faithfully doing that for the most part. I don't think I've missed a day, and if I have missed a day, I have added to it. So I really have been enjoying this palette. Last update, you guys are going to see the videos of it. All the statistics on the screen. I don't have it in front of me. I believe last update I had 60 some uses on this palette. And today I have 145 uses on this palette. So I've used this 145 times, which technically means I've worn makeup for about 145 days so far this year. So give or take, that's how my mindset is going. My goal the last time was, I knew I was going to concentrate on the lighter part of this palette. I was going to try to use some of those mattes. I repressed some of these mattes on here. I think I filmed that for you guys and I posted it on my panning Instagram. So if you did not know about that, I repressed them. I filmed that and put it on my Instagram so you guys can check that out. But today I want to share with you guys where this palette is looking like. I cleaned it up for you guys because this palette can get really, really dirty. So I cleaned it up. So you guys already probably seen from the intro or the videos that I have used up quite a few shades in here, and I have a pan in some. So here is what we're going through. I'm not going to make this boring and go through each individual shadow and tell you guys what I've done. I'm going to give you guys an overview of it. So this is what 145 uses looks like on this palette, at least for my usage. So we have finished off Fresh, which was this matte cream shadow. I already had a major pan. I already had repressed it. So I knew I just wanted to finish that one off. It was beautiful all over the lid, but I specifically actually loved it more as an inner corner matte highlight. So that's how I used that one. Then we used up this shade right here, which was Pearl. Pearl was my inner corner shade. That's how I used it. I loved every single bit of it, and I continue to use it as an inner corner shade. It was just too light for me to wear all over the lid. I felt like it was just too much for my skin tone, especially now that I do have a tan going on. Then Birch was this warm tone orangey kind of shade. It was a warmer brown, I was always afraid of it because I felt like it was going to pull too orange on my skin tone, but surprisingly it was really, really nice. So I did enjoy that one. Completely finished that off. Some of these you guys think that there is stuff in here. It's just the rust from the pan. I'm not even going to stress over it. It is what it is. So that is completely done. And then the other shade that I finished off was Twig, which was a matte cool tone brown. That one I was mixing in with this shade right here in Birch. That's how I was able to finish both of those together because they both basically had the same use. Again, this has rust in it. So you can see there's no powder coming up. So it looks like there's stuff in there, but it's not. So what I have been concentrating on, all honesty, is all the shimmer shades. All the shimmer shades in here is what I've been concentrating on. And what I have found is that I really love to incorporate these shimmer shades on my lower lash line. They're not too sparkly or too stark under my eyelids. Sometimes I cannot use like those sparkle shadows or those metallic shadows from indie brands that are just too much for, like, they really stand out. It looks kind of awkward on my lower lash and I don't like how that looks, but I do like a metallic shade like this on my lower lash line. I feel like it gives something, but not a lot. So I do have one on my lower lash line, and that's how I have been incorporating this palette more so now in the summertime. As you guys know, I am really reaching for my cream stick shadows, my cream pot shadows, my liquid eyeshadows. I'm really using those the most because I'm literally using 2 to 3 shadows and that's it. I'm barely using any shadow on my eyes. As you guys can see, I'm keeping it very chill on my eyes because I want my cheeks and my lips to be the standout and my just overall fresh complexion. I don't want too much and I don't use a lot of eye makeup in the summer. Today I have Cinder on my lower lash line, and as you guys can see, I do have a pan in this one. This was a surprise to me because I didn't think I was anywhere near close to hitting pan. And then once I actually put my brush in there, I realized I had pan in this for a while and didn't even know it because I was using like this shadow and these shadows and the powder kick up was falling into this one. Didn't even realize I had a pan because it was covering up. It was being covered up by my kick up of the other shadows. So I do have pan in that one. This is by far my favorite shade. Out of all of them in here, this is my favorite shade. So I'm going to miss this once it's gone. I've been really loving it. I love this one all over the lid. I love this one on my lower lash line. This is the shadow that had the most usage before I even really honed down on this palette because this was my favorite. This was truly my favorite shadow. Oh, it's not too light, it's not too dark, it's just perfect. So I'm going to continue to use this one because this is my favorite one to use in the summer. I'm also concentrating on using these two right here, which is Teak and Ember. So Teak and Ember, the reason why I'm concentrating on these two to use more on my lower lash line or all over the lid is because they're rather dark and deep in their shape, in their undertones, that I feel like I can pull them off the best in the summer. I will use these here and there, like these two shadows, but I want to concentrate more on this one and this one because I know this is the time of year where I'm going to get the most use out of them. They're way too dark for me to use in the winter time, and my skin tone, it just looks too stark and it looks like I have a smoky eye every day, and sometimes I don't want to have a smoky eye. I want to have something like this. So I'm going to concentrate on these two and then use this one to try to finish it off as much as possible as well. Like I think I will finish this off by the end of the year, and I want to at least hit pan on these the next update you guys see. This is supposed to be updated again in September, so I'm hoping that I do get to that point and I remember to update you guys on that. I haven't really used any of the mattes in here, honestly. I've just been reaching for, like I said, my creams, shadow sticks, or I'm using other, like I love my Danamessa Myricks Groundworks one for the summertime because it's that putty kind of texture that just works well and it's easy to work with my cream shades. I'm pulling out a lot of Natasha Denona. The Natasha Denona Tan Palette is one of my newer ones and I really have been using that one a lot. So I'm not going to be hard on myself to try to use the mattes in here. I think that the shimmer shades is what draws me to this palette anyway. So I feel like at this point, I'm just going to concentrate mainly on the shimmer shades, and if the matte shades end up staying behind, I have those repeatedly over in my collection. Like I have a dark brown, I have a gray, I have a black. This one I don't really care for, so those are the only mattes that I have left, and I'm reaching for other palettes in that. I'm taking advantage that the transitional mattes that were in this palette are not here anymore. So that way I can reach for other palettes and use those when it comes to my mattes and sparkle toppers and that kind of stuff to incorporate with these shimmer shades. So that's my goal for this. I feel like I'm still doing fine. I'm not sad about it. I'm not bored with it. I am going to be talking to my members on what palette and if I should pick a palette for next year to do the same thing. I don't know what palette I'm picking, but as you guys know, I do have some favorite neutral palettes that I use all the time, and I have one in consideration, but I have 3 in the running, so I'm gonna play around with those to see which one I'm gonna pick for next year. If that's something you guys want to see me do again, I don't know. Maybe I'll be tired of it. I don't know. I like the fact that I just need to use this for anything. In my look, somehow incorporated in my everyday look without it being pushed. This is how much I've used, and to me that is awesome. So I have 4 complete empties and 1 pan in here out of the 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, out of the 14. So I have 10 shades left. Pretty soon it'll be 9 shades left, and then from there I'll decide what to do with this palette. It's not something that it has been a chore for me. It has not been something that has been dragging or dreading. I really do enjoy this palette, and I still do. And I feel like once you get that like that, for me at least, once I mentally just told myself, you're going to use this every day. You're going to incorporate it somehow, however you want. That whole entire like, oh, I got to use this. Oh, this is a chore. Or, oh man, I can't really do whatever look I want because I'm always having to reach for this palette to meet my goals, has really gone out the window. I feel like this has been the best way for me to pan a palette without it being such a chore and a torment. Honestly, because I'm just using it however I want, as long as I reach for it. If that means I'm grabbing an eyeliner brush and just dipping into this brown and using it as an eyeliner, then that is it. Lower lash line, then that is it. Inner corner, then that is it. As in all over the lid, then that is it. I am not forcing myself to use these at a certain way or having to put so many strict rules on myself in order for me to finish this off. And I've accepted the fact that once I get to a point that these shimmer shades are gone, I'm okay with letting this palette go with these mattes not done. I don't need to fully finish a palette in order to feel accomplished, because this is 145 uses just in 2026. This palette has had so much more usage prior to this, you guys, so much more usage. I know I have well over 250 uses out of this palette. That has superseded the amount of money I spent on it. So for me to throw it away with 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes in here, you guys, that's not a big deal. I think that there's this stigma when it comes to finishing off products that you need to finish everything off. You need to cut it off. You need to finish every ounce of it, that it becomes a chore. It becomes torment. And that's why people draw away from project panning. If I were to have this palette on my own every day and I was not doing YouTube and I just had a simple collection, I honestly wouldn't have never picked this gray. I would have never used up this peachy color. I would have maybe used a little bit of the black and some of this brown, but not necessarily to the point where I need to finish every single thing. There are certain things I love to scrape and use up because I just enjoy that. But then other things like this, I don't need to do that. So I feel like that mentality needs to change in the project pan world. And if you want to do it that way, that's on you. But I feel like we shouldn't feel, or we should not get down on somebody because they didn't finish the last bit, or because they didn't finish a whole palette. It's not considered completely used up, or they're throwing money away because 3 shadows did not get used. Like, we have to have our own panning journey to get to what we want to and feel okay, because guess what? We're the ones that spent the money, not everyone that's watching. So it's like, you have to understand, even you as a viewer, when you're panning your stuff, where you feel like you're good and ready and you have put this to rest, and that's it. And nobody should judge you for that. I feel like everyone's journey is different. And I've learned that along the way, that if I have some shadows left in here, I'm okay. So that's all that I have for you guys. I apologize for not updating you guys when I should have updated you guys. So now that you see where we're at, 145 uses as of today, September will be the next time that we will update this palette, and I'm hoping to at least get some more pans in here for you guys so you guys can see a little bit of a change, or dips or something. We'll see how it goes, because this July I've only used eyeshadow 3 days because it's just been hot and beautiful, and I just been loving being outdoors. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. May God bless you always. I will catch you guys in the next video.